Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to the drag truck build. So I know the last few episodes we've been doing a bunch of other stuff. We had a lot of other things going on, some things departing, some things coming and all that. But it's back to kind of the mainstay of the channel, which is the drag truck. So as you guys know, we have a few loose ends, little things here and there. The real big thing is the rear suspension, which we do have stuff coming for, so we can complete that and then finally get this thing dialed in, especially now that we have a reliable mode of transportation to transport the race truck where we need to. So one of the little things that we need to fix on this thing is the hood stack. So we need to fix that because we made the front end so it slides out, and as you can see, I've already been playing with the stack because I actually didn't have it on there. But we made this front end so it slides forward and then tilts up so we can gain all the access to the engine compartment. So doing that, our pipe that we made, I made it so it sat below the surface here of the front clip, and we just had this little extension pipe to get it up out of the engine compartment. So we were trying not to fill that all with smoke and cover our nice Freedom Racing engine with soot and all that kind of stuff, especially with how this thing's currently running. So that's where these come in. So we are actually going to be hood stacking the Cummins. So yes, these are 6-inch stacks. Our exhaust pipe is 5-inch, so we're just going a little bit bigger. We are going to be taking one of these. Well, actually we already have. I already have been working on this. So originally started off, got 2 of these off of Facebook Marketplace for like 35 bucks. They're on a guy's big rig. You know, they're not in the best of shape, but perfect for what we want to do. So as you can see here, we have one that's already been cut down, and then I modified it to what you see here. So what we did was we made our own little short miter stack, and you might be wondering why it's kind of oblong. Well, I'll show you. That's hard to do with one hand. So we made this whole thing so that I could just slide it out and then tilt it up. So with that being said, I made this stack. What I was thinking I was going to do was just kind of bolt it right here, and then we'd have enough kind of like up, we'd be able to push and get everything back into place. The problem with that thinking was it just really wasn't working out. How the front clip slopes up. Now, mind you, it is sitting up a little bit still. The top edge here is pretty close to the ridge here on the fiberglass, and the back side there is a noticeable gap because that stack is level. So when I first tried it, I just kind of took a couple hose clamps and hose clamped this thing in place, and I just couldn't get it to work right. It wasn't working well. So I devised this little slider hood stack, if you will. I just took the stack, added another piece here, and then a piece of plate also to it, so that way we can have it sitting there and we will be able to slide the front clip forward, and when we have it fully back, our pipe is centered inside of our miter cut stack. So this ring here was an add-on later because I found this trim ring, which it comes with bolting, which is somewhere. It comes with some countersunk bolts, stainless bolts. This is like a ICP or something. You can get it from like Jegs. Amazon has it, a bunch of places. It's a 6-inch trim ring for exhaust. It'll fit over here like that and just kind of really set off the stack. But also the point of the trim ring is to clamp it to the front clip. So we'll have these holes in the front clip, holes in the back part of the stack here, and then this piece I just added. It's just tacked in place to make sure everything's good. That will be the underside bolting for it. So it's just kind of loose so we can move it up and down and get the stack exactly where we want it. Then we can weld this all up. I'll probably do a few tacks and bolt everything together to make sure we're good before we power weld. And then we will be able to have our trim ring to bolt our stack on and off. Pretty good plan. The only issue I'm seeing right now is I want to say this is like a 3/8 lip here. Our fiberglass is more like an 1/8 inch thick. So we might not complete this tonight. We might have to turn this down, and that way we have a good clamp. What I'd like to do is just have this a hair shorter than the fiberglass, so we get a good clamping force on it, but we're not stressing the fiberglass too much. And if you look at the stack, the plate that I made and this little trim, or little bolting tab, if you will, it's all slanted to the stack, so it should match the hood line profile, and our stack should be true. So that's the look we're gonna go for. We'll mock it up with a couple hose clamps, see how everything looks, maybe throw a couple more tacks on there and keep working on it. So got the hood stack kind of placed how I want. Just used a couple hose clamps to get it lined up. Really, it's not the best way to do it because the hood slopes and the hose clamps want to be true to the stack. So I just have a couple of screwdrivers in there to kind of wedge it how I want it. Obviously, we need to make up a big gap here because once again, it wants to be true to the stack. So you got to put that on the low side. Got our tacks in here on the bottom little trim ring here. This is all flush with the hood. Really what we're gonna have to do is get our holes and all that stuff in and bolt everything up and see if this pulls in, because I have a gap up here, but I don't know, I can't really tell right above the weld. I did have to enlarge our hole, which I went big enough that our trim ring would fit in. That way we had the slot, I put the trim ring in, looked at it, but then we had the slot because I welded this on the other side, right in here, which again you guys can't see, but with the kerf of the weld, or kerf, that's what it cut. Well, anyway, I can't remember the right terminology. I'm sure somebody will put it down in the comments, but with just the weld there, I don't have it. It was so tight to the stack that it was pushing it down. So with that extra room, we were actually able to get the stack up nice and tight. So we'll take it off. What I think I'm gonna do is actually pre-drill the holes in this, so that way we can get it where we want it again and drill through the fiberglass. Also, I'm gonna measure and then we'll turn down that trim ring so it just fits. Like if this is 3/16, we'll make it 1/8. So on and so forth, and that way our trim ring will kind of sit there. We'll have a little bit of crush on the fiberglass and everything should be good. Like I said, we might need to make a couple spacers or shims, but other than that, we're looking pretty good so far. There for a while I was trying to figure out why it was sticking out, and well, here it was the weld. I should have welded it on the inside here, but oh well, it's working and I think it's going to turn out good, but we got to get that trim ring turned down and knock some holes out. The things people on YouTube will do to try and take a weird picture to get attention to their video. It looked kind of neat and it worked. Kept the smoke up. Alright guys, so now that the playing is over, time to get back to work. So I backed the drag truck back in the garage a little bit. We still have a little bit of daylight left, so I chose to work outside a little. If it gets too dark, we'll back the thing back in the garage all the way. But for August, it is amazingly cool out. I think it was like 82, maybe 85 today here in Pennsylvania, which is awesome. Now, that being said, it is getting toward the end of August, which means September, which then October. So hunting season's just about there. So I'm getting excited, and this cool weather, well, what will be cool, crisp weather is almost here. So excited for that. So today I was able to get a little further on our hood stack. What I did was I took our little trim ring, I put it on top of our stack, and I pre-drilled all of our holes. So this back piece will actually get 3 holes in there. Really, the holes had to go in this alignment. Any other way you did it, you kind of had a bolt, you know, kind of in a crevice or in a bad spot. But this looks like it's going to work out pretty good. I also took our trim ring and turned it down so we have a 1/16 inch land on there. So that way it should, you know, it should be between, we should have a gap on between this and our fiberglass, so we have a little bit of crush on the fiberglass. We have a, you know, a 1/16. I think the fiberglass is 1/8 inch thick. So what we'll do is we get everything lined up, figure out, you know, exactly where we want it, make sure it's right, and then we'll drill a hole, and we'll just start with 1 hole, go from there, make sure everything's right before we get, you know, 6 holes around here and put the stack in the wrong spot. So we may have to, once we bolt it up, then shim portions of it to get it where I want it, but we'll see. Yeah, it's kind of funny that we're doing this now. There's a guy, I believe he's on the West Coast. Check it, definitely check his Instagram out. It's Capital Diesel Performance. They're building what I believe is a sled pull truck, and you know, kind of as we're doing stuff on the channel, they're doing stuff in a similar fashion. It's just kind of working out that way. That being said, the stuff he's doing is not the typical stuff that you see like in a garage here. Like his bed mounts, it's all stuff he came up with, like thinking about stuff like in a CNC mindset, I guess. Like he does a lot of like his pull and hitch and his hinges. His hinges are really impressive for front clip. His, you know, hinges as well, but he came up with a whole like CAD design and then had them made them. It's just a phenomenal build, and he actually did something I never considered with the exhaust. He brought his exhaust like right here, and I think he called it a tusk in his little post, right? But he has a lot more room between the wheel and the wheel well, but his is sitting right here, so then when he pulls the front clip forward, that's, you know, he gets his clearance in the fender. Definitely a neat, unique look. Definitely a good idea, something that, well, if we had more room, that would have been a great route to go. It just would have been a lot less hassle than this, but I think this is going to turn out pretty cool. So I'll quit talking and let's get this hood stack installed. Well, guys, needless to say, I am pleased. It looks awesome. I love it. Wow, it looks great. I'm really glad I did this miter cut. It just, I don't know, it just adds something to the truck. It's just look at that thing. Got the miter, so like when you're standing, like pretty much even right in front of the miter, you know, the two lines, or you know, the whole miter lines up. That's what I was doing with the big level, trying to kind of eyeball it to the fender here. But yeah, I am loving that. That turned out phenomenal. Looks killer. Put down in the comments what you guys think. I think you're all gonna agree. That looks awesome. Man, that is one mean looking. Wow. So we got everything bolted up. I drilled the holes, and then I kind of screwed up and I moved it around a little, had to put the hood back down, yada, yada, yada. Got it back up there, drilled all our holes, bolted it up, and I was thinking we were doing, like, first time, nailed it. Well, we had a high spot in this area, so what we had to do was pull it back off, and we actually had to grind a little bit of the fiberglass down to make it, you know, right, make everything look good. So very happy with the result of this. Now that I say that though, the trim ring is a bit warm. Hopefully that doesn't affect our fiberglass too much. I was really thinking that everything would be fine, being that really this is just a showpiece and helping direct the exhaust out. Only time will tell, because I'm gonna leave it because it looks so cool. It might not ever get all that hot, who knows, you know, it's just, I don't know. I just like how it looks. I mean, look at the thing. But we had also a little high spot in the back here, and what it was is it was rubbing on our weld like the other night. And when I had this out, and I forgot to point it out to you guys, the weld I actually ground down where I said I should have welded it from the underside. I ground it down. Well, first I welded the underside, then I ground the weld down to try and make it flush, but one spot was a little higher than the rest. But yeah, that looks awesome. Flip this thing up here. Thing is killer. And then with one hand, it comes forward. So yeah, that thing is looking good. Ugh. So like I had said, guys, I welded right here and then ground the weld down on the other side. So very happy with the result of this. Now, I did try and take a little video to show you guys. There is some exhaust escaping like here, where we have that void. I believe that is just because, like, it's only doing it when the truck's hiccuping. When it's running, you know, sitting there idling fine, it seems okay. So I don't think it's a big issue. We're gonna watch it. You can see kind of some of the exhaust coming down, but it wasn't anything major. So I think once we get this thing ironed out, it won't be a problem. If it is, we can always extend this down a little bit and make it a little longer. But I'm definitely digging the whole thing. It turned out very well. Also, I told you guys I was gonna power weld this and weld the whole thing. With even just our tacks, I have like 5 good tacks on it. It's not flimsy at all. It's great. I mean, the whole thing's just sturdy. So definitely have some refinements we should do to the front clip to make it a little bit more user-friendly, but it definitely works. You just kind of got to know how to put it on. It's its own little special monster. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this thing. Very glad we did that. That looks killer. That just, yeah, I don't know. It just adds like this mean little aspect to it. Yeah, that thing is sharp. So anyway, guys, we got a little custom on this one with our little hood stack. Going with that miter, starting off with a big 6-inch stack, you know, that we cut down, and then we had to modify because we couldn't do what I thought, but now it slides. I was able to slide it there with one hand forward, so we don't have to, you know, jar it all around. Getting it back on, still a little fussy, but not going to worry about that right yet. That'll be, maybe this winter we'll try and correct that a little bit. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. I think it looks awesome. When I first put the miter on there, I was kind of having my doubts a little bit, but now that it's on there, this was definitely the right route to go. That thing is just looking good. So yeah, like I said, comment down below what you guys think of that. I hope you guys like it as much as I do, because I think that thing turned out awesome. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like down below, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell me what you think of the hood stack, and get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck,